Welcome to Crypto Flywheel, the podcast where we spin up strategies to turn your digital efforts into unstoppable momentum. Now, let's get that flywheel turning. In the news, Crypto.com just got the green light, a conditional national bank approval in the United States. That's right, folks. The crypto giant is one step away from becoming a full-blown American crypto bank. Speaking of banks, we have PNC Bank is one of the bigger traditional banks in the U.S. I'm sure you all have heard of PNC Bank. Think checking accounts, savings loans, and all the usual stuff millions of people use every day. Recently, back in 2025, they teamed up with Coinbase, which is one of the most popular places to buy and sell cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana. So the big news is that PNC is now letting some of their wealthier clients, specifically people with private bank accounts, sell and hold Bitcoin right inside the regular PNC banking app or platform. So there's no need to jump over to a separate crypto app or wallet. It's seamless now, right? So like transferring money between accounts, but for Bitcoin. This makes PNC the first major U.S. bank to offer this kind of direct Bitcoin trading built right in their system. They did it using Coinbase behind the scenes. So Coinbase service that they're providing for PNC is called Crypto as a Service. So, which handles secure crypto stuff so the bank doesn't have to build it all from scratch. So this is a play now. All these banks are looking for these exchanges for offering that crypto service. So you're going to hear more about it with other banks as well. So you may ask, why does this matter, right? So for years, crypto felt separate from normal banking, right? So it was risky, it was complicated, maybe even sketchy to some folks. So now a big trusted bank like PNC is saying, hey, we think that it's safe enough to use crypto for our customers. So it's a step towards blending old school finance with digital assets. And yeah, you're right. PNC also has been connected to Ripple for a while. If for some of you that don't know, Ripple is another company in the blockchain world focused more on making international money transfers cheaper and faster using their tech, and sometimes their tech that they use with the coin that they provide is called XRP. PNC joined Ripple's network back around 2018, 2019. So it's been a while since they've been in partnership with Ripple, becoming one of the first big U.S. banks to use it for cross-border payment. They've been dipping into blockchain tech for payments for years, and now they're expanding into holding actual crypto like Bitcoin through Coinbase. Overall, it's like PNC is saying, hey, we're not afraid of this digital money stuff anymore. We're jumping in to make it easier and safer for our customers. So for everyday people like you and I, it may not hit your account tomorrow, but it's a sign that crypto is going mainstream and big banks are getting involved instead of ignoring it. So what do you think? Does this make sense?
Yeah. So Digital X, I mean, this has been going on for the past few years right now. Like, as you know, and you say that these banks, they have to get on the ball with this digital asset space, right? I told you, we talked about it yesterday on the 26 mandate that they need to, otherwise they're going to get, fines from the legislation based off of the regulations, right? So PNC's interest signals that traditional banking is moving beyond passive custody into like digital liquidity utilization. When these banks like PNC and Bank of America and Wells Fargo, all of these banks are Citigroup, they're all jumping. They've already been doing this behind the scenes for years. And when they do get involved, they bring their existing client bases, and then the operational demand for real-time settlements, enterprise scale transaction values, all of these are facilitated by the ecosystem that we constantly talk about in the crypto flywheel. And to add to your introduction, this kind of pulls XRP's liquidity onto the real world payment rails, right? There's going to be tremendous price action here shortly once everything just is flipped on. There's also XRP. We talk about XRP all the time, and like you just mentioned, it's going from it's actually evolving the regulatory clarity, and they're building banks and other institutions are building institutional products that create liquidity and real world utility. So it reinforces global demand. So the price action is going upward is the inevitable. So our listeners should comprehend that and position themselves as we always talk about.
Yeah, because it's a positive outlook, right? Hearing that PNC actually, it's being talked about in mainstream now, right? So that just solidifies your thinking, right?
And other rails as well, ETFs,
other rails.
And then go ahead. We needed to talk about one more thing, right? You were going to mention.
So moving from the banking sector, I'm sure all of us have heard of PayPal, and I'm sure all of us have used PayPal. So PayPal is that company most people know for letting you send money super easy online, right? To pay friends, buy stuff on eBay, or you could even buy it on Google, just using PayPal instead of your credit card, or you could even use it in your stores, right? So it's been around forever in the internet years. So basically this one is one of the OGs of the digital payment sector, right? So, but lately their stock price has tanked, dropped by almost half over the past year or so. That's due to competition, right? So think of it like a house that used to be super expensive, but now it's on sale for way less because of competition from Apple Pay or Google, newer companies like Stripe, and just tougher times in the payments world, right? This is tougher because you got competition now, right? So today, as of February 23rd, Bloomberg just dropped a report saying PayPal is suddenly getting takeover interest, right? That means other companies or investors are sniffing around like, hey, PayPal, are you on discount right now?
Yeah.
Maybe we should buy the whole thing or parts of it, right? So there's interest from other companies. It's unsolicited, meaning PayPal didn't go out begging for buyers. These folks reached out on their own. So PayPal's been having meetings with banks to talk about it. But at least one big rival is eyeing the entire company, right? So while others might just want to cherry pick certain parts of it, like maybe their payment processing tech or Venmo or something, right? So the stock jumped like 9 to 10% today on the news because when people hear takeover, what do they think? They think the buyer might pay a premium to get that company, right? So the stock went up 9 to 10% today. But this is important. The sources say it's super early stages, right? It could fizzle out. No deals could happen. Or it turns out something big may happen, right? So there's no names of the buyers are out there yet. So it's all anonymous people familiar with the talks. That's what's happening. But why does this matter for regular folks like you and I? PayPal's still huge. Millions use it daily, but it's been struggling a bit with growth and competition. If someone bigger buys them, maybe a tech giant or a private equity firm, it could mean changes, better features, more competition in payments, or even just stability. Or if it breaks up, parts could get sold off. So it's like basically it's like when a popular underperforming team suddenly has a big club's interest in buying it. Exciting for fans, but it's uncertain. Crazy how fast things move in tech finance, right? So one day the stock goes down and the next day buyout buzz and the stock goes up. What do you make of this? Think PayPal's getting snapped up? Or do they turn it around, right? So what do you guys think who do you guys think might acquire PayPal? I have some companies in mind.
Yeah, but the thing, Digital X, here is there's a lot of noise that's going on, right? So and so is acquiring this, so and so is acquiring that, but ultimately, and then you have a lot of economists and influencers that talk about, hey, this is a control grid mechanism. PayPal is part of that control grid, puppet master, whatever, that's going to suppress us into a digital monetary system where they can turn off money and what have you. What the crypto flywheel, what we want to say is that, look, what's going to happen is going to happen at the end of the day. However, what we need to do is go beyond that smoke screen. I keep saying that from my point of view, because we can't control what regulators and banking institutions and governance entities do. What we need to do effectively is position ourselves to take advantage of it, where we don't lose our buying power, or our money is not locked up, or is not value. We can use it at all times. So, we need to understand all that's going on. And 2026 is kind of like the inflection point. XRP is the XRP ledger, and XRP is definitely a prime player in this, in this ecosystem, from ETFs to treasuries to, interoperability, partnerships with, we talked about it too. We like RLUSDs, increase liquidity and volume, USDC, XSGD. All of these are just the evolutionary system of digital assets, and the financial system, and then bridge currency. And we talked about on-demand liquidity, tokenization. All of these things are just evolutionary, step by step, that's happening. And a vast majority of them have already happened, right? So stay informed through it's a flywheel moment here. Like everything, the momentum is picking up steam right now. And in 2026, like I said, it's the inflection point where there's going to be tremendous volume and activity. So keep that in mind. Position yourself. This is not financial advice. We're not telling you to go and buy XRP, although that would seem obvious by if you're following the crypto flywheel, right? So that's what I have to say.
Who do you think would make better sense if they purchased it? Would it be Ripple or would it be Stellar? I would think Stellar would make a better acquisition.
Well, that's for day-to-day, right? Like you were saying, This is like Stellar does real, day-to-day, not cross-border. It's like retail,
right?
Peer-to-peer. That's what I'm looking for.
PayPal is more peer-to-peer and retail's oriented, right? So Stellar would make more sense than Ripple. Ripple's more institutional, right?
Yes, exactly. So, so Stellar Lumen might make a play there. Jeb Caleb is one of the ex-co-founders of XRP as well, So, and, all of these individuals at some point are tied in digital action. That, be it Elon Musk, be it Peter Thiel, Brad Garlinghouse, Jeb McCaleb, David Schwartz, Chris Larson, all of these guys are tied together, Then you got the other side of it with, what was the name? Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name now.
Which one?
Andreesen Horowitz, I think it is.
Andreessen, PayPal Mafia.
Yeah,
that was the whole PayPal Mafia. Yeah.
So all of these individuals, it's not a coincidence, guys. These people are all involved in this ecosystem, and these coins that we talk about we keep saying it's not a coincidence that they were chosen to, facilitate the financial system, right? So the new financial system.
And for those that don't know, I'm sure all of you guys use X, formerly known as Twitter. The Grok symbol or the logo it's like 99.9% similarity to the Stellar XLM logo. So, and Elon Musk was a former PayPal guy.
Yeah, and how ironic that he ended up buying off of what's the name, Dorsey. After Dorsey, he ended up buying it, right? Like where do you think about it? What was it? $44 billion he paid for it.
Yeah, he paid a ridiculous amount. And you know what? Andreessen Horowitz funded about $200 or $400 million or It could be in billions. But I know he put a substantial amount of money into lending it for Elon for the purchase of X, along with the Qatar, what do you call it, fund or something. You know,
connected. It's not a coincidence, right? Like we have to think about how everything is playing out. You know, like we just mentioned, Elon Musk, Andreessen Horowitz, all these guys. You know, even Meta. You know, we're talking about Meta with the Zuckerberg. I mentioned how Elon just easily how quickly he bought all and took over Twitter to what's now X from Jack Dorsey. All of these billionaires came out of the woodworks post 2000, to 2010, right? Where did they come from? You know, you think it's something that, you one fine day you end up PayPal Mafia spinoffs come out and then boom, we're here. You know, these are multi-billionaires that are buying left and right. So yeah, acquisitions are happening, but that's the smokescreen. You got to see beyond it. These people are figureheads to what's really happening, which is the new financial system and the banks controls, and monitoring. You know, that's what it is at the end of the day. So we just position ourselves.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
So I got nothing more.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and flywheel out of here, Professor.
Yeah, so guys, we'd like to really hear what your opinions are of what we talk about on the crypto flywheel. So please do comment and ask questions. We'd like to talk more. We don't want to sound like a broken record, so more inputs, we can talk about it in subsequent episodes or answer questions right there in the comment section, right? So please do engage with us, and if not, at this point where I'm just going to conclude right here with the crypto flywheel signing off right now. Thank you.